I'm hoping that Russ could acknowledge that at the very least. Here's the thing, though, and I asked that question. It's a challenge, and honestly, it's almost a trick question here. You have to pick between these two. Russ is not as great as we think he is, or the Seahawks have failed Russell Wilson. You should not be rooting for any of these things to be more true than the other. You shouldn't. In fact, you would be a fool to do so. You want to say that both of these things are equal, because that is the only way that this situation fixes itself. That's it. If this continues the way that it's going, I don't think it's as big of an issue as has been reported nationally. But since it is being reported nationally as such a big deal, I do feel the need to beat that dead horse into the ground and keep on coming back and saying, yeah, this is right now something that needs to be addressed. So address it. The Seahawks have to, I think, look at the way that they have approached the offensive line and say, we have to be better. They should have known that already, by the way. It shouldn't have taken Russell Wilson to do that. And I honestly think that they knew that. But Russell on the same front, yes, he got sacked a lot this past season. Yes, he's been sacked a lot over the course of his career in Seattle. Guess what? The offensive line got better from last year to this year. It did. Brandon Shell, solid player. Damian Lewis, promising player. We'll see what Dwayne Brown's future is. He's getting up there in age. You need a left guard. You need a center. I know. But there are two sides to this. And both sides need to come back to the middle. I refuse to put more blame on one than the other. What I have said is that I'm annoyed just by the way that Russ framed this, because I do think it's framed in a way that Russ feels like he's not part of the problem. He has been a little bit dismissive of some of the sacks that he's taken. And I've said that a million times over the course of this week. But you shouldn't be rooting for Russ to get his way here. And you shouldn't be rooting for the Seahawks to ignore this either. Oh, Russ is petulant. Oh, Russ is being annoying. The way he's going about it, yeah, I would agree. It is annoying. But you know what? Things could be a little bit better. The offensive scheme could be a little bit better. That's more so what should be talked about. And since they brought in Shane Waldron as offensive coordinator, I was surprised that Russ said what he said last Friday on The Herd with Colin Cowherd about the direction of the offense. And he says, oh, we can't be passive. We got to make sure we're not going to be passive. I think that we're away from that, but it's going to be a collaborative effort. I feel like this is something that in a couple of weeks we're not going to be thinking about as seriously as we're thinking about it now. But it's going to take these sides to just be honest with themselves. And I would say in the case of Russell Wilson, I think he's being less honest with himself than the Seahawks are perhaps being honest with themselves. But your egos and who's right is not worth this team getting back to the direction that it appeared they were going in the middle of this past season, leading up to that swoon that they had, like week 5, week 6. They looked like this was a team on the rise. Now, at the end of the year, they look like a team that just sort of kept itself in the same place as it was last year. But it's young. Get over this stuff, guys.